Well, hey friends, welcome back to Between Sundays. And today we're going to be talking about a topic that I believe every pastor, leader, and believer needs to wrestle with: healthy boundaries in unhealthy systems. Now, the church is called to be a place of life and of healing and of freedom, but the reality is sometimes church systems can get so unhealthy that expectations can get so out of balance. And if we're not careful, what will happen is leaders and volunteers can end up running on empty, all in the name of being faithful. So today, what I'd like to do is unpack what healthy boundaries actually look like and why they matter, and how you can begin setting them even if the system around you isn't all that healthy. So let's talk about why boundaries matter. Boundaries are biblical. They're not selfish. They're not unspiritual. They're actually an act of stewardship. If you think about it, Jesus himself in Luke chapter 5, verses 15 through 16, the scriptures say the news about him spread all the more so that the crowds of people came to hear him and to be healed of their sicknesses. But Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. No question, Jesus loved people, healed people, taught people, and then he stepped away. If the Son of God needed rhythms of retreat, who are we to think that we don't? Boundaries are simply lines that protect what's valuable. They help us say, here's what I'm responsible for, and here's what I'm not responsible for. An unhealthy system, the hard truth is sometimes the system you're in will actually resist the boundaries, because unhealthy systems often show up like this, by saying that busyness is rewarded. The more exhausted you are, the more faithful you'll be seen. No one is punished in an unhealthy system. If you set limits, you're labeled as uncommitted. Family can be sacrificed. Church calendar take priority. Leaders can be untouchable. Questioning their vision is seen as rebellion. Maybe you have been there. I know that I have allowed myself to live without boundaries because I thought that's what God wanted. But listen to me. Burnout doesn't honor God. Busyness isn't the same as obedience. So, healthy boundaries. Let me tell you what they look like. What healthy boundaries look like in ministry. We'll start with time, just honoring Sabbath, guarding family dinners, making space for rest, emotionally, recognizing that you can't carry everybody's burdens. Here's a little thing for you. Only Jesus can. Relationally, having safe people that you can process with outside your church system. And then spiritually, prioritizing time with God before time for others. Jesus withdrew to pray before he went to minister. A boundary is simply saying this far and no further. Here's where I serve. Here's where I rest. Here's where I trust God to do what I cannot. And you can start setting those boundaries. If you're listening and thinking, yeah, but I don't even know where to start. Well, let me give you a few practical steps. Clarify your priorities. What has God truly called you to? What's essential and what's just noise? See, you got to communicate this clearly, because boundaries don't work if no one knows them. Say, I'm not available on this night. This is family night. And stay consistent. People will test your boundaries. Stick to them with kindness, but with firmness. Trust God with the grips. You're not the savior of your church. Jesus is. Psalm 127:1 says, unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. And I want to leave you with this encouragement. Boundaries don't keep people out. They keep the important things in. They protect your health and your family, and they protect your walk with God. And when you have those boundaries in place, you can actually serve more joyfully, love more freely, and you can lead more faithfully. So if you're in an unhealthy system, don't lose hope. Just start small. Set one healthy boundary this week. Watch how it changes not just your schedule, but it changes your soul. So I want to say thanks for hanging out today on Between Sundays. If this episode resonated with you, would you share it with a friend who might need it? And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We've got more real and honest conversations about ministry and faith that are coming your way. So we'll talk again soon.